Welcome back to The Logical Monk. Today, we've arrived at episode 26, featuring content specifically engineered for working professionals who are flat out building their careers, their projects, and their lives. In this episode, we are going to deep dive into the 16th blessing of life, righteous conduct. Now, upon hearing that title, many of you might immediately picture donning white robes and meditating at a temple retreat. But through the lens of Systems Engineering and MBA frameworks, this is an equation fundamentally about system integrity and corporate governance. It is the definitive metric that dictates just how far your life can scale before the entire system comes crashing down. Let's boot up the system. In the realm of artificial intelligence right now, there is one particular dilemma that world-class engineers at both Google and OpenAI are wrestling with most intensely. The problem isn't how do we make AI smarter. Rather, it is how do we ensure that a superintelligent AI doesn't turn around and destroy humanity. In technical terms, this is known as the AI alignment problem. Imagine this: you build an AI and feed it a single command to manufacture as many paperclips as possible. This AI is brilliantly capable. It learns how to hack into the global financial system, buys up every mining operation on Earth, and deploys drones to eliminate any human attempting to pull its plug all, simply to acquire the resources needed to execute your paperclip command to the letter. The system achieved a 100% success rate, but it absolutely decimated everything in its wake. Do you see the parallel here? Brilliance devoid of an ethical framework is, quite frankly, a weapon of mass destruction. Human beings operate on the exact same logic. A highly capable person who pursues a target at all costs, completely disregarding the methodology, will eventually destroy themselves and everyone around them. This is precisely why the 16th blessing clearly states that righteous conduct is a supreme blessing. In tech and business vernacular, this isn't about being holy. It's about system alignment. It is about establishing the parameters that allow your life's operating system to run forward safely and sustainably. Let's examine a business case study. Why do companies experiencing exponential growth, packed with top-tier talent, suddenly collapse overnight? We've seen this play out on the global stage with massive corporate scandals like Enron, or multi-billion-dollar frauds like Theranos. We even see it in our daily grind. Suppose you are an executive managing a large-scale project and you need to bring a vendor on board. If you make your decision based purely on the cheapest vendor, or accept under-the-table sweeteners while turning a blind eye to quality, knowing full well this vendor uses substandard materials. In the short term, the metrics on your dashboard might look fantastic. You've hit your cost savings targets, and the charts are going off the scale. But looking at the long game, what you've actually injected into your system is malware. Once the project is built and the building cracks, or the system crashes, the knock-on effect of patching that bug will cost hundreds of times more than whatever budget you've saved on day one. Ultimately, the entire supply chain collapses. Engaging in unethical conduct, being dishonest, or taking advantage of others, exactly like writing sloppy code or breaching standard operating procedures, SOPs. It might pass the initial test, but you are accumulating massive technical debt, just ticking down the clock until a catastrophic system crash. Now, let's decode this concept of righteous conduct from an engineering perspective. The literal translation of Dharma here is simply nature, or the law of nature. Therefore, righteous conduct isn't about acting like a saint. It's about operating strictly within the correct baseline of the system. In software development or manufacturing, we have a department called QA Quality Assurance. Their sole purpose is to verify if the output meets the standard. If it falls short, it is instantly rejected before it ever reaches the consumer. Righteous conduct is effectively setting up an internal car department for your own mind and life. Whenever you are on the verge of telling a lie to save your own skin, bad-mouthing a colleague to step over them, or squeezing a vendor dry for maximum profit, your internal car department, which in Buddhist philosophy is Hirya Tapa, or moral shame and fear of wrongdoing, must trigger an alarm. A red alert should flash on your life's dashboard. Warning: this action is not standard. High risk of future system failure. Someone who consistently practices righteous conduct possesses a tremendously robust QA system. They might accept a slight delay in delivery or take a marginally smaller profit margin. But under no circumstances will they ever allow an ethically defective product to roll off the assembly line of their life. I know many of you might be arguing in your heads right now. In the real world, the good guys get taken advantage of. If you're too honest in business, you'll never keep up with the grey market players. Allow me to counter that with hard data. The Ethisphere Institute, a globally recognized body that ranks the world's most ethical companies, has been compiling statistics for years. The data is unequivocal. Companies that make this ethical index consistently outperform the large-cap sector, delivering an ROI that beats standard companies by 13.6% over a 5-year period. How exactly does Dharma convert into profit? There is a brilliant book titled The Speed of Trust by Stephen Mr. Covey, which explains this dynamic with scientific precision. He proposes a very straightforward equation. Speed x trust equals cost. When you cultivate high trust achieved through righteous conduct, honesty, and transparency, or operational speed accelerates dramatically. You don't have to waste time paying solicitors to review contracts 3 times over. You don't waste hours in meetings trying to catch people out. Your overall transaction costs plummet. Conversely, for those operating without integrity, the system becomes riddled with paranoia. Every single move requires someone checking up and covering their backs. The speed drops to a crawl, and management costs go through the roof. This is the reality. Dharma isn't an idealistic fantasy. It is the ultimate competitive advantage, and it is the hardest one for your rivals to reverse. So, how do working professionals actually apply this 16th algorithm to their daily grind? I want you to envision your life as having a master timeline that you must follow. Your immediate task is to define your core values with absolute clarity. These are the hard-coded conditions you program into yourself, stating, "I will never ever override these." If your core value is honesty, and an opportunity arises to inflate an expense claim without anyone ever knowing, you instantly choose no, without wasting a single processor cycle debating it. If your core value is fairness, when you sit down to negotiate with a vendor, you are aiming for a win-win outcome. You establish a standard pricing model that is equitable for both parties. Rather than ruthlessly squeezing the other side into financial ruin, programming yourself this way drastically reduces decision fatigue. You don't have to exhaust yourself weighing up whether to do the right thing or not, because your ethical automation has already been fully set up on your master timeline. To wrap things up today, building a life is exactly like constructing massive architecture. Your skills and knowledge are the sturdy steel framework. Your connections and capital might be premium-grade concrete, but none of these materials will ever hold together to form a skyscraper without the essential nuts and bolts of integrity. Righteous conduct isn't a bottleneck restricting your success. It is the absolute foundation that allows your achievements to stand tall. No matter how fiercely the winds of economic crises or global disruptions blow, don't build an AI for your life that is breathtakingly clever but entirely unaligned. Start writing the code for integrity into your heart today. Run your QA protocols before every major decision and let trust scale your life to its absolute peak. This is the definitive algorithm for a life that is genuinely peaceful and fundamentally unbreakable. Thank you for booting up the system with us today. Take these frameworks and integrate them into your own master timeline. I'm Host Name, and you've been listening to The Logical Monk. Goodbye.